Okay, we're outside where the structure, the home, basically it faces east. So for the purpose of this inspection report, the home faces east. See all these landscape. This is beyond the scope. This is way far out. None of this affects the structure. This is beyond the scope of this inspection, but these landscaping timbers are all in pretty bad shape. These for this tier here. In the front yard, right up front and center, we have the water meter. And if you look inside the dial, see that little red sprocket right there? That's called a flow indicator. It's called a flow indicator. Sometimes people call it a cheater wheel or cheater paddle. But basically, if that thing's moving, then fresh potable water is moving towards the house. We might have a leak. The dishwasher might be on. So if that's moving, you need to know where the water is moving. It could be in the crawl space, someplace that you don't see. It might be a leaky commode valve. Again, the dishwasher might be on. But you need to know why it's moving. If you have a high water bill, you come check it. See if maybe you have a leak. Next door, this is a lawn sprinkler check valve. And there's another one over on the side of the house that we'll look at later, so it'll be kind of part two, I guess. If that one's actually working, we might have a sprinkler system, but right now, today, we don't. These are isolation valves, and this isolation valve is off. So there's no water coming to the lawn sprinkler system. It was turned off for a reason. Now, since this was installed, this wasn't required when it was installed, you'd also have a main shutoff valve for the water vacuum breaker. And I'll call that out, but it doesn't hurt to remember that it wasn't required. When it was all that was required when this was installed was the two isolation valves, and the main shutoff valve was not required, but you don't have one. The floor of the irrigation box should have been excavated so you can get your hands around the valve. There should be at least 3 inches of clearance beneath that valve so that a technician can work on it. And then the floor of the irrigation box should be lined with gravel. And that's what should happen. Moving along to the Bonnie cart. We come over here. This is by the front porch. This is the exterior bib faucet, and I noticed this in my cursory walk around the property getting orientated. I noticed that none of the faucets have vacuum breakers. So pressure from the water hose could build up and migrate back into the potable drinking supply. We're looking for between 80 and 40 and 80 PSI. I'm going to look at here, like we've got almost 90 PSI. Some people say that you can't get enough water pressure, and that's not true. It's flow that you're looking for. Pressure and flow are related, I get that. But too much pressure can cause exactly that. Too much pressure on your plumbing system, more leaks, more wear and tear, more emergencies. This is the main water shutoff valve. This is an old school wrench. If you have an emergency and you use this valve to turn off the water to the house so you can take care of the emergency, you're probably going to go out to the meter and turn the water off there. And then you're going to go back in the house and you're going to fix, or under it, and you're going to fix whatever problem that you had that caused you to turn this valve. And then you're probably going to be digging this valve up to replace it because it failed. Now, you can continue just to bypass this valve and use the water meter, or it'd be a good idea to think about upgrading. Just would. I'm not finding, I cannot see, I'm still looking, but I don't see a main sewer clean out. So that's probably not going to be in this video. It's not going to be in this video. It might be in another video, maybe the same one where we address the secondary lawn sprinkler vacuum breaker over in the south side yard.